Hey St. John's, Doug Rodeman here with Lauren Cruz, and we are at Faith Haven right now because we want to tell you a little bit about this worship event that's coming up on July 25th. It's a fantastic time to spread out and be in the presence of God as we gather and worship, but we want to share a little bit about the event with you.
So this night is going to be full of outdoor worship, music, fellowship, and 3 interactive stations. The entire evening is going to reflect on Jesus Christ being the Waymaker in our lives.
Lauren referenced those discipleship stations, and that's really what turns this just from a service into a worship event and a little longer experience. We want to actually take you to where those stations are going to be and tell you a little bit about what we're going to do in those times. We are here at the 3 Crosses of Faith Haven, and this is going to be a site of one of our discipleship stations, a discipleship station full of prayer activities. You may see rocks kind of piled up here, and it's notorious for that. We're actually going to use those rocks as a part of our prayer activities.
As you walk down the trail, you'll be able to take the opportunity to reflect on the different petitions of the Lord's Prayer. And as you make your way up to the 3 crosses, you'll then be able to pick up a rock, write down your prayer, and bring it to the foot of the cross.
Hey, we're down in a more wooded spot, not far from the parking area of Faith Haven, and it's been called the Manger, but for our worship event, we're calling it Jesus' Workshop because as a discipleship activity, we're actually putting together a craft that you get to take home.
The craft that we'll be doing is a sand candle. So you can see it's a mason jar full of 2 different kinds of sands, and then you'll be able to place your little tea light in here, and at the end of the evening for closing worship, you and your family will be able to bring up the candles to the foot of the altar and light them and reflect on Jesus being the light to your path and the Waymaker in your lives.
We are here up at one of the fields, the parking fields at Faith Haven, and this particular field is actually going to be a place for a game as one of our discipleship stations, an interactive game for you and your family to enjoy.
The game is very family friendly. Anybody at any age can participate. It's going to be really, really fun, and the goal of the game is to be able to listen for God's voice as it guides you through the obstacles of life. And you'll see how that plays out when you get here. But it'll be a fun time.
So as you plan to come out on the 25th, make sure that you have good walking shoes. If you choose to do the discipleship stations, they're spread out a little ways among Faith Haven's property here. Bring a chair or a blanket, something for seating as we're gathered for worship in the big field, and maybe some bug spray because it is July in Wisconsin. Our time of fellowship here is going to start about 5:30 with our opening service starting at 6. Discipleship stations and trail time will follow for a bit, and then we'll come back for a closing time of worship, and it'll all wrap up by about 8 o'clock. And then you're free to stay for some time of fellowship, maybe a campfire, and enjoy the property together. We really look forward to gathering together in the Lord and spending this time reflecting on Jesus as the Waymaker of our lives. We'll see you there.